it's happening on 21st of December. I think you may have already
Well,
answered that, actually.
I think that you will find it is, officially very much a winter time of year, solstice. But that is when you look towards the new year, don't you? You prepare yourself for leaving behind the old and you begin with the new. But I would say that this is part of the great spiritual awakening. And with what has been happening, or what is happening on your earth at present, many consciousnesses, many thoughts of people are going to come together. And they are going to start to bring the light to the world. The angels are drawing close to your earth to create a great healing, to create and help with a great awakening. So many of you will become very much curious and wanting to know more about this connection to spirit and more about the awareness of it. And so this will cause a mass of people to come together and start to become more curious and wanting to know. So you will all be feeling it, and your earth is going to rumble, I will tell you. A great shift is going to take place within the earth. You would probably want to call it a pole shift, but it is not going to be quite like that. There are going to be many movements of earth, shall I say, partitions of earth happening again, as it has done over many millions of years, but this is really much more prevalent. It is happening on such a great scale. But I would say that man will not have any power over it. The earth has always changed herself and evolved herself over millions of years, and she will continue to do so, of course, but with great velocity. So all of these strange sounds that you are hearing in places are the earth's great vibration from within, and of course from the heavens, and of course from the outer beings that are also in communication with your world. They are not about to invade it. They are knowing that your world is in distress, and they are wanting to help in some way. They are also saying to you, tune into your higher self, your intuitive self, your consciousness, because it is the most powerful tool that you have in life. If you are spiritually awakened, you may go through many different emotional states of mind that will confuse you. And you will think, well, why do I feel like this? This isn't me. I don't understand what is going on with me. Why do I feel depressed today? Or why do I feel so excited today? You will go through many different phases of a spiritual awakening. But every journey that you make in life is journey through different relationships that you will form with friends, partners, family members, pets, doesn't matter what it is. And that is what you call the maze of life. You will take many avenues, and those avenues will then teach you something, then they will come to an end. You will find that many people that you have previously circulated with in life, it's not that they don't any longer have any meaning to you, but they start to draw away from you and they take a different path to yours. And you think to yourself, well, why have I had all these people not bother with me anymore? I don't bother with them. They have a different path, a different journey to you. You have not outgrown them, but your soul has progressed on its path. So these people are no longer a requirement to you, although you would care about them. They are not any longer needed on your pathway. So each journey, each relationship that you formed is the journey back to yourself. And once you awaken and go within, that is the most fantastic time that you could possibly experience, because you are happy and elated with yourself. You are no longer condemning yourself or blaming yourself for things. You are only human, of course. It is not to say that every day is going to be fantastic and you are on top of the world. What it means to say is you have found us. You have found yourself. and you have connected yourself to the consciousness and the universe. And it is the most wonderful feeling that you could imagine. And then it is time to give it to the rest of the world, isn't it? There are always going to be people that don't believe in it. There are always going to be people saying, well, what are these people? Are they mad? But perhaps they haven't chosen to experience it in this lifetime. Mass consciousness awakening. It is on a huge scale that you could never possibly imagine really now, because you are going about your daily lives. We want you. You're doing your shopping. You're doing you're living, aren't you? You're living the human life. And a lot of you don't even think anything about it. You have no idea, absolutely no idea what is going on in the heavens. Some of you don't believe in it, and you think to yourself, what a lot of poppycock. What a lot of nonsense. They're all mad. Until you pass away and you get to heaven yourself. You think, well, I regretted not understanding or believing in it, because I could have learned so much more. Maybe I will have to incarnate again to experience it all over again and try and get to it again. We choose to have the human life. But it is time now to start awakening, to start discovering what is so beautiful and so limitless that you couldn't possibly fit it all into your consciousness. But you are it. You are it. You are that consciousness. You are that limitlessness. Why would you begrudge yourself as something so magical, so beautiful? Why would you doubt that? That is human minds, isn't it? Doubting. That is what you call the ego. You do not have an ego in heaven. You lose that when you pass. It is only an earthly requirement, but the ego will teach you many things, although it will sometimes say, well, don't go over there, because that's not the place to go. We want to limit you. We want to test you. Perhaps you will overcome the test, perhaps you won't. Perhaps you will listen to other people's conditioning and other people's opinions. Don't bother getting involved in it. It is a total waste of energy. If they want to argue and bicker amongst each other, let them get on with it. You have your path. I would say, look onwards and upwards. You will see what is coming. You see, all of the negative has to be drawn up to the surface. If you stir muddy water with a stick, it'll show you all of the dirt. It'll all make the water look dirty and misty. Eventually it dies down and goes back to the bottom. But this time it's not. This time it is coming up, and all of it will surface. It'll seem like a dreadful place to live in. And you'll think, is there any end to it? Why are we all so angry with one another? Why are we all bickering and having differences of opinion? We cannot come together. But the people that are bringing the light to the world will teach you something. How to be at peace. You could carry on with your daily lives. You could keep going on as you were. But would it ever change anything? Would you think that you are going to go on like that forever? Did you think that nothing was ever going to change? How long did you think that it could go on for before something had to give? How long did you think all of these lies could go on for before they would be surfaced? How long did you think that you could keep it going before something had to put it to a stop? And if you weren't completely stopped, all of you in this world, would you ever have listened? If you were only getting the minority of who it was happening to. For instance, if it was just one country, you'd say, well, that's on the news, that's old news now, let's just get on with our lives. Let's just carry on the way that we were. But because it stopped the whole world, you had to begin to think about something. You had to begin to look for your truths. And so you searched and you searched And you argued and you searched more, and you're still doing it. And you will probably keep doing it, but it will bring the truth to the surface. You see, all of this negative that you see on your computers, you think that's awful, we don't want to get involved in that, but that's truth. That's thrown in your faces as truth. You will see it, you could ignore it, carry on, do what you like, but it is still happening. It doesn't mean to say that you have to watch it every day and get involved in it, to become angry and upset and opinionated. We want you to be happy. But in order for the world to awaken, it had to be slowed down, so to speak. It had to be cleansed, and that is going to take time, of course. There are millions and millions of people on the earth. Do you think that they are all going to listen at once? If your God, your Jesus was to come out of the sky now, you would say, goodness me, what is happening? You would all stop and look out of your windows in amazement. But that is not how it is going to be. He is in your hearts, and it is absolutely nothing to do with religion, control, fear, nothing. It has to be going inside of yourself and seeing who you really are. You are all a part of that multifaceted dimension that is Earth, the universe, and everything. You have the power to be. Each and every one of you have that power within you. You are all limitless, but you only see up to the wall and not past it. You are not even prepared to climb it, to see what is over the other side. But if you just take that one little moment to say, well, I am limitless. My consciousness is absolutely powerful and limitless. It is not about being above another and saying, well, you are no good. Who are you? I am better than you. You can put me on a pedestal and you can worship me. It is not about that. It is about coming together as that collective consciousness and creating the most powerful healing that you could ever imagine. And seeing the light and the color within you. Many people take drugs to experience it. And they will say, well, I had the most wonderful experience, I want some more of it. Because they are inquisitive. They are empowering themselves, but it is not to say that it is a good thing to take a drug. And you may think, well, that's just hallucinogenic, but certain drugs that would give you an expansion of mind, that would make you see what is beyond this, that you would see the earth as just this. The earth is not just this. Look at every single detail in it, right down to the last grain of sand. That is the most amazing thing. It is amazing how it all fits together and it all works. The flower that grows in your garden, you just look at it and say, well, that's a pretty flower. There are more of them where that came from. Could grow next year, die, grow again. Take a closer look at that flower, the life of it, the absolute intricate beauty of it. You will see your consciousness expanding, taking in those details, taking in the absolute beauty of everything that works together. Even underneath your earth, do you not realize that there are things going on underneath that? Even that helps the earth above to work. All the little insects and all the little worms underground are all doing their job to keep your earth going. They're all surviving, but they're all making a difference. Don't even think about it, do you? You just walk above it and think, well, that's the ground, that's it. When you tread upon the grass or the ground, you're earthing yourself, you're grounding yourself. Think about what's underneath there. Don't see it as a lot of muck and dirt. See it as beauty underneath there as well as the above. The whole lot of it is connected. creatures that you haven't even seen or discovered are everywhere. You haven't even noticed them. You can't notice them because they're not in the naked eye for you to see. Progression, everyone. It happens. And it is happening on a huge scale. Your computers were deliberately invented. We knew all about that. Did you think we did not know? We knew all about it. It was deliberately invented by these people. Some of them would get greedy, but some of them would use it to seek knowledge or to give knowledge to others. That's the best part about it, isn't it? Because if you didn't have this computer now, I wouldn't be speaking to you. I would only be able to limit it to one room and two people. Computers all over the world. Now do you see how the light is spreading? The consciousness is awakening within you. That tool that you have in front of you there, that telephone, that computer, whatever it may be, is allowing you to do that. It's all part of God's plan, isn't it? You don't even know it. So this is what you mean about not a particular date. It's the end of an era. The end of the old way. The old habits die hard. A lot of you think it's about the new control. That's an earthly thing. They can try to control you, perhaps, yes, if you allow them to, but they cannot control this. Because if you think positive and think beyond that, beyond this earth, they'll not even be able to grasp that. They can't get hold of it. They have no knowledge of how to. If they knew they had it within themselves as well, they would forget about all of this nonsense. Well, I will leave you to experience it, because I know Elaine is getting tired, and I won't have much more to speak about that. When she is less tired and needing to rest. I have enjoyed conversing with you all, and I'm sure that I will do so again. If there are people out there that do not like what I say, I'm going to say it no matter what. You can think of all of the hateful things that you like, but I am still going to come back and tell you all. God bless you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.